Longus Jake here with another Big Power Electric review. This time, this blaster that's going to be featured is the 501 model. This is a kind of variation of the Nerf Ultra 2. Instead, of course, rechambered, we'll say, for elite style darts. And it does include, again, their darts. We'll touch on those again. I'll beat that down into the ground. But the 501 is a semi-auto, flywheel powered, cylinder-fed blaster that holds 7 darts and is powered off of 6 AA's with a access panel on the left-hand side of the blaster shell, 1 Phillips screw. Pop that off, put your 6 AA's, and they actually do include those like they have with each blaster. You get 6 AA's, you get 50 of those darts, don't use them, and you also do get the same exact torture device eye protection. I pick at that, but the blaster more than makes up for it. Spoiler. And you also get 3 of their little manual targets. These are actually pretty nice. I'm actually setting up a few of them and using them in my workshop here because it's simple. You hit it, knock it down, and you manually tip it back up. You get 3 of them in addition to the 50 darts, the blaster, the AA's that are included to power it, which nobody else ever does, and those eye protection pieces. But focusing on the blaster, because that is the star of the package, of course. The 501 being, exactly as you expect, a elite version of a Nerf Ultra 2 remade by Big Power Electric. It is featuring basically the exact same color scheme and stylization of the Big Power Electric, where everything has this real heavy detailing on it, as you can see there, almost kind of like a mechanical sci-fi-ish look to it. Think actually some of Busby's designs, but not the exact same, like their old Fiesta style, not like that exactly, but it has the molding all over it to where you know it's not smooth. And that actually does, well, I'm going to touch on that real quick. The moldings actually do serve a purpose. Because of all the moldings on the shell, it actually does offer a little extra rigidity to it, to where you don't get the flexible, creaking shell as much. Lets them also get away with using a little less plastic in some cases, like Busby tends to do. You know, they have thinner plastic on some of their blasters. But this, again, this is the same build quality. And I think a lot of that is all that molding, all those textures in it, in the blaster shell. They do add some rigidity, just like, you know, adding reinforcements. But it has also the same nice ergonomics that each of the Big Power Electric blasters so far have showcased, in that the pistol grip has a nice smooth contour to it that, again, fits the palm of your hand perfectly. There's nothing to dig into the webbing between your thumb and your index finger, and the trigger well is not constricting. The rev trigger itself is smooth and simple. Even Nerf sometimes puts rev triggers that can dig into your finger. This one is basically top-notch ergonomics, like each of their blasters had them. So I'm very impressed with every blaster, not just this one, and also the looks. Again, it doesn't look like an off-brand. You don't know Big Power Electric yet, but you should. And this is not like one of those copy and paste off-brands where, you know, you see this under 10 other different names on eBay or Amazon or AliExpress, because Big Power Electric is actually molded into the battery tray cover. That's actually really nice. You know that this is a Big Power Electric product. So, again, a nice touch that you don't normally see on most of the off-brands. As for power and performance, with your 7 shots, spammed real quick like that, or if you're careful, I actually can get up to an average of 72.5 feet per second using a variety of darts. I tested it with Nerf Elites, worker full lengths, men guns, and so many others in my bin of darts, and I was averaging anywhere from 69.5 up to 74 to 75. Depends on the darts. You know, of course, lighter darts go at higher velocity, heavier darts go slower. That's common sense. Just avoid their darts. Again, as has been the case with every blaster that they've sent me, these things lower it all the way up to 8 to 10 feet per second or more, And you can really hear the motors trying to struggle to get this tip through because it has no give and it's the full diameter of the dart. So the crush of the flywheels really struggles with this. So keep that in mind. Don't use their darts with their blaster. Those would be okay in a front-loaded front-loaded Springer, not in a flywheeler. But as for the blaster, this thing is great. It really is. The fact that you just take and load it from the rear, exactly like people were doing with the Ultra 2 conversions, everything that made that a good idea makes this a great idea. Top it off a few times, keep yourself from getting tagged out, or I could see this thing being a great HVZ blaster. And I don't have a fault for it, other than, my nitpicks and comments about the darts and the eye protection that they include that is totally uncomfortable. That's the honest truth on those. Those are thrown in as bonuses. But for $24.99, this blaster itself is worth that, even if there were no extras included. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about the darts. Don't worry about the eyewear. This itself is worth the entry cost, in my opinion. I absolutely adore this thing. It's a great blaster, and seeing what the community might do with it, for you open up the jam door and you look at the flywheels and cage, and I just look at the possibilities. What will somebody do? And because it has a 6 AA tray, now it is kind of an odd one. You have to put 2 in first. They're sunk down in, and then you put 4 more on top of it. You're going to have to hollow that out with a Dremel to add in a battery pack. But I could see, a lipo upgrade and some better flywheels, even a higher crush cage, and this thing could really zip. And that would be awesome to have this thing, for HVZ doing that, or anything close quarters, because you can top this thing off real fast. Just, dump pouch on your side, grab darts, keep tossing them in, keep rotating it, and then instantly fire. This thing has a definite place at your side, and for somebody like me who loves to just use pistols as standalones, I love this thing. So for $25, Big Power Electric, I think, has hit a home run with this. And while the others I've given my recommendation, I think this is an absolute must-buy. The 501, I'm not going to call it the best of the 4 yet. You have to wait to see on the next one. But this one is definitely one of at least the top 1 or 2 out of the group of 4 they sent me. I do have one more to check out, and we'll see that one next. But I hope you enjoyed this review of the Big Power Electric 501, and I do think this is an absolute must-buy. Check it out. I'll put a link in the description, and don't just take my word for it. Again, I'm going to link David Bolak's Blaster Institute. He also has a written review. You can check that. The link will be in the description of the video as well. He's a patron of mine. I'd like to send anybody over to him so they can, if they want to see a written review instead of just my video, feel free to go check that out. Both links will be in the video's description, as well as a pinned comment. If I remember to do that, I forget that sometimes. But Smoker Shake saying thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for the last one out of the 4 coming up here in the next couple of days.